Now, the Dallas Mavericks traded for Christian Wood. The Rockets in return got Trey Burke, Sterling Brown, Boban Marjanovic, and the 26th overall pick, which means that they didn't really trade much outside of the first round pick 26, to get Christian Wood. Now, how much better does he make the Mavericks? Now, Pierre, I want to start with you. I'm curious to hear what you think, because talking to John and Riv earlier, I know they're not high on this move. I'm curious to know your thoughts.
Wow. What?
High on the move or high on Christian Wood? Or both?
Thank you.
Both.
Oh, okay. I'm high on the move just because you gave up 4 guys who absolutely don't play and a 26 pick who Christian Wood is better than. To be honest with you though, I think it's a win for the Mavericks. Obviously, I'm not ready to go out on a limb and speak on Christian Wood because I don't know who Christian Wood is, and I don't think anybody does. I think everybody's just guessing. Obviously, he's going to be better with Luka. But he went to Houston to play with James Harden and didn't get to play with James Harden. Instead, we've seen him play with guys that I don't think are NBA talent guys. And even before to get him that contract, it was just like flashes of things. I don't think we've really seen Christian Wood in a Dallas Maverick environment with a player like Luka, with a head coach like Jason Kidd on a contending team. We may see a different version of him, or we may see him more of in a role player role. So I really don't know. I'm kind of in between. I see everybody's perspective clear. I see you talking highly of Christian Wood. Maybe he can make All-Star game. With what I've seen in the NBA, if you start, there's a potential chance for you to make an All-Star game. So I'm not counting them out. But I'm not willing to put everything on the line and say that this guy is going to have an All-Star year. I think the chances are very low, but it is a possibility. But I do think at the end of the day, the Mavericks upgrade, he goes to a good situation, and that's the win in the trade for them.
You know, I love the wording that you used there, because you said nobody knows who Christian Wood is yet. And that's true. There's a lot of people guessing, and they're guessing wrongly because they're counting him out, and they think that he's not who I know he is. Now, Christian Wood is about to blow everybody's socks off in Dallas. He's really going to go crazy. Now, I will be realistic because, you know, people may hear this and think I'm being unrealistic throughout this whole thing. So I'll say, worst case scenario, Christian Wood is averaging 15 for Dallas on excellent efficiency and is a great piece for them. That's worst case scenario. But on the high end, and what's actually probably most likely 80% chance gonna happen, is that he's gonna be that second star next to Luka. And I know they've been searching for that. He's a perfect pick and roll player for Luka. He's a great cutter. He's good in the post. He can operate as a roll man or pop out to the three-point line. And most importantly, now he's playing with increased space. So he shoots 50% from 3, 2 to 4 feet away from his closest defender, which means that he's great at taking contested threes. He's great at making them. He shoots 37% on open threes, 40% on wide open one. And Christian Wood, people often say, well, he's not going to have the usage in Dallas that he had in Houston. But in his best season in Houston, which was his first year in the 2021 season, he had a 25% usage. KP this past season in Dallas had a 28% usage, and he shot 28% from 3, which is something that KP, we thought he was going to be a good three-point shooter. Christian Wood is actually a good three-point shooter, and people have been making this Christian Wood versus KP comparison. Oh, it's just KP all over again. Them two are two different, totally different players. It's not even right to compare the two. The only thing you can compare is the ego thing, the attitude. And Christian Wood, to me, is somebody that is highly confident in himself, and that ego could get in the way and could blind him on what his role should be on the Mavericks. But if he buys in to this winning culture, which I think he will, he is going to have a career season. Christian Wood versus KP. Christian Wood, 49% in the post he shot this past season on 8.9% frequency. Kristaps 43% on 22% frequency. Kristaps gets used much more in the post. Christian Wood, not as much, but is still more efficient when he gets those opportunities. Christian Wood's post-up stats, 1.6 possessions per game, so he's not posting up too much. 9.6% frequency, 0.95 points per possession, shoots 49% from the field when he does that, and 53% score frequency when he's in the post. So that means for every opportunity he gets in the post, he's scoring half of those. That's how good Christian Wood is. And mind you, I actually looked at Pascal Siakam's post-up stats too. 1.9 possessions per game, so the same as Christian Wood. 0.92 points per possession, so Siakam is worse. He's generating less offense from the post, and he actually has a 15.4% turnover frequency compared to Christian Wood's 11.7% turnover frequency. So Christian Wood is scoring more efficiently than Siakam in the post. He's less turnover prone in the post than him, and it's on the same volume as him. Now, I don't want to make this a Christian Wood versus Siakam thing, but this is just to show you that he is capable of high play in that area while not asking for much volume in that. And now we look at Christian Wood's roll man stats. 1.20 points per possession on rolls. That's better than Bam Adebayo, Jonas Valanciunas, Jusuf Nurkic, Nikola Jokic, and Anthony Davis. Now, is he the roll man that AD and Jokic are? He is not. But is he better than Bam in that area? I believe so. Is he better than Jokic in that area? I believe so. The fact that Christian Wood can roll and also pop out to the three-point line, I think is huge for Dallas. And let me just ask you guys a question. Who on Dallas this past season was able to really be Luka's pick-and-roll partner and generate offense? Who was able to do it?
It was Dwight Powell versus teams like Minnesota. So
okay, nobody was able to do it. So Christian Wood now has a solidified role that you and Luka are going to be the 1 and 2 because Luka's a high pick-and-roll player. Now he finally has a pick-and-roll partner. Christian Wood, excellent rebounder, 14th in rebounding. 37% of his rebounds were contested. And the biggest worry that everybody has for him is defensively. But overall, his defensive field goal percentage this past season was at 47%, which was the same as Siakam. Siakam was at 46.9%. Okay, I know. I understand that. Siakam's at 46.9%, and Christian Wood was 9th in field goals defended per game. So he was defending a lot of shots, and he's not this net negative defender. If anything, in Houston, he was an average defender. He was lazy on closeouts, but these are the 3 reasons why Christian Wood is going to succeed in Dallas. Number 1, he's talented on his own already. With James Harden, he was averaging 23 and 10 in 7 games. Then James Harden gets traded. Houston wins 6 straight games. Christian Wood goes down with injury. They lose 20 straight. Christian Wood is talented. That's number 1. Number 2, Luka is a generational player and playmaker. That's going to make Christian Wood's life a whole lot easier. And number 3, Jason Kidd is going to demand defense, and Christian Wood is going to buy in. A year from now, we are going to be talking about Christian Wood as one of the more important players on the Dallas Mavericks and one of the more slept on moves that happened this offseason, because this is going to propel them into true contention, I believe. And Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming back, and I'm high on Tim Hardaway Jr. too.
The only thing I disagree with you with is this going to be one of the most slept on moves. I think people paying attention to this move. Like, okay. The Dallas Mavericks just got a starting quality player.
This is what you see what he did here. He made it seem like we're low on the move. No.
Oh, you're low on Christian Wood.
No, we're not.
We're not low on the move. Was a great move because you gave up Boban, who aside from him being a nice guy in the locker room, does literally nothing else. You gave up that and a pick for Christian Wood, so you got nothing back for something. Christian Wood is a big upgrade from Dwight Powell. Nobody's denying that, but it's the other stuff you're going into. You've been pushing this Woods top 40.
He is
him
top
and
40
Siakam. There isn't like him. They could be on the same level.
I never said that. I said there's not this huge gap between the two. There's not a huge gap between the two.
You think he's better than those players?
He's better than Mikal Bridges. Get out of here.
He's at number 47.
He's better than him.
47.
Let me look at your top 40.
You made a top 40?
Yeah. Well, first off, the 6
He's better than Ben Simmons. Bye. He's at 38.
No, he's not. The 6
Christian Wood is better than who?
Ben Simmons. He's better than him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not.
And he's going to have a better season than Sabonis, so get Sabonis out of here.
First off, the 6-game winning
streak. You're going too far now. You're going too far. You are going too far. He's not better. He's not better than Ben Simmons.
Come on.
Unless you're talking about Ben Simmons who don't play, then sure. Fucking
when is he going to play?
That's an all-NBA player.
Come on, man. Ben Simmons, Yes, he's an All-NBA player by default. He made the All-Star game because Goran Dragic got hurt. I mean,
he didn't make the All-NBA team because somebody got hurt. He made the All-NBA team because he made the All-NBA
I don't know
team.
what Ben Simmons I'm getting. I don't know.
You don't know what Christian Wood you're getting.
I do know.
Ben Simmons, listen, now, if you want to talk about all the last year, Ben Simmons deserved it. But when Ben Simmons has been on the floor, you've known he's one guy that you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
He's not shooting the damn ball. He's guarding all over the place. All over the place. He can guard. Literally, they throw around at 1 through 5, 1 through 5. Legitimately 1 through 5. Second in the defensive player of the year, and he lost to a guy who had a historic defensive metric ratings and all that shit with Rudy. And the dude can play make out of this world. And if you put him at somewhere with a guy like fucking Kevin Durant, even though the Nets is gonna be fucked up, Ben Simmons is gonna be a different player. So
okay,
we're not
I
doing
agree.
the Ben Simmons thing.
Simmons,
Pascal, have at him.
Simmons, I know 16, 8, and 8. He's giving me every single night. I know he's giving me elite defense. But what happens in the playoffs? He's unplayable.
Wood hasn't made the playoffs.
But his
Ben
game
Simmons
can
is
translate
playable?
to the playoffs. Huh?
Ben Simmons is not unplayable in the playoffs. Come on now.
Damn near he is.
In his entire career, he had one shitter series. One.
He's had
and now
two.
We're saying he unplayable
Versus Boston. They were leaving him wide open back when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were
people
rookies.
not going to guard him for sure. But if you put 4 shooters around him, you have to guard.
Okay, but you're telling me, Ben Simmons, you're telling me in order to maximize him, I have to completely overhaul my roster to fit him. Christian Wood, I don't got to do that.
No. I mean, if the Nets had a full year with him, KD and Kyrie, I think they figured it out. If they had a legitimate full, not a year where he's going through his thing, Kyrie's playing half the time because of COVID and booster shots and shit, all vaccine, but a full year. Like hypothetically, if Kyrie had 2 years on his deal and we didn't have this contract issue that came up today, and we knew you was going to go into the season with Kevin Durant, Ben, and Kyrie, and you knew they were all going to be there at the start of the year. They have this whole offseason to now put the shit around those two. I don't not think it's that far-fetched to be able to do that. You already have Seth Curry, so you could possibly have a lineup of Seth Curry or Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, Kevin Durant. You give Ben some minutes at small ball 5, and you just put another motherfucker out there who can defend.
Yeah. Look, I like your logic. I like the way you think.
Give me this lineup. Tell me how you feel about this lineup. Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons as a small ball 5.
I love that lineup. I love the potential of that lineup. But you're telling me, had Ben Simmons played and they had a full season together, they would have figured it out. Tell me, where has Kyrie Irving ever been that he's been able to figure things out when he's been asked to figure things out?
Cavaliers.
Kevin Durant, he's figured things out when things were actually tough, because when he joined Golden State, it was they were favorites. Who wouldn't figure out in that situation? Gordon Hayward would have went there and won with them. I swear to God. So I'm just saying that. What have they shown me as leaders that they can figure it out and they can get Ben on the right track? I have a hard time believing that. Now, I like the potential of Ben Simmons, but you also had Sabonis on your list. Christian Wood has a better year than Sabonis next year.
I'm not denying that. Here's the thing: we all like Christian Wood.
You also have to live with the opportunity. I'm not to cut you off, John. I'm sorry, but you also have to live with the situation that Sabonis could easily have a better year than Christian Wood. Easily,
he can.
He's been doing.
No, he can. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm going to push this Christian Wood thing all season long, all year long, and I can't wait until the season starts.
Joel,
I'm gonna shut up and let John have you because it seems like he got a lot of shit to say.
I ain't even finished. I'm about to cook him.
So we got into this Ben Simmons, Christian Wood debate. You said Ben Simmons is unplayable in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Christian Wood has never played NBA basketball. This is the first time for him.
Yeah.
So that's first
and
and
I'm
foremost.
happy for him.
We all like Christian Wood. He's a super skilled big that can shoot, pop. We like him. Very good player. We're not denying he's a very good player. In a top 60, top 50, whatever. And he's going to have a career year at Luka because with James Harden, he shot 26% from deep, and he still averaged 24 with him. And that was when Harden wasn't even trying. We get how good he is offensively, but there's questions with him. That is why no one's saying he's going to blow everyone away, because we haven't seen him in the postseason. It's a great move because they gave the 26th pick, but how was it that they were able to get him so easily? How come no one else, if the Rockets could have gotten more than just a 26th pick and 4 players didn't pay, then why didn't they? No one was interested.
I'll answer that. For one, Rockets clearly just want a first-round pick. They're just rebuilding. Number 2, Christian Wood is on a contract year. So he is not somebody that if a team trades for, Why am I going to trade significant assets for somebody who's on a 1-year contract?
He's getting paid like $14 million.
Yeah,
You don't have to
13.
trade significant assets.
He's getting
though.
paid $14 million.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think any team out there was able to really wanted to get him.
because they didn't want him.
The Charlotte Hornets don't even have a coach right now. So I don't think they were in the sweepstakes. And even then, just them needing a defensive presence, it probably didn't fit.
What about Memphis? They have multiple first-round picks.
They have cap.
Who
too.
are they trading for Christian Wood, though?
D'Anthony Melton.
That's the question we're asking you.
I don't know what Memphis can trade on that roster that would get Christian Wood or who they would
Why?
want to
Because they
trade.
didn't take
D'Anthony
shit from
Melton
Dallas.
in a first round. It's getting Christian Wood, bro.
So let me, okay, D'Anthony Melton?
The dude that
Hey,
played more
he's
than all the
better
other
than any of
four.
the Rockets players.
Yeah, like that you can
That the
get
contracts don't match.
Memphis
doesn't
has a
have,
little. They have a little bit of cap where
D'Anthony Melton's getting paid like $3 million.
he just paid $8 million, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if the contracts work or not, but I'm just saying. I don't want to talk about hypotheticals because it's
That's
obvious.
what you're talking about,
No,
though.
no, no.
Essentially,
it's
your
obvious.
propaganda is built off
But I'm
hypotheticals.
talking about. I don't want to. No, hold up. Wait, hold up.
It is.
For one. I don't want to talk about hypothetical situations of where he could have landed because ultimately he's a Dallas Maverick.
You're talking about
and Luka's
hypothetical
smiling right now. Number two, it's not a hypothetical because everything I've given you are actual statistics
No.
that show he's good at
And-
what I'm telling you he's good at. That's not a hypothetical.
Everything you've given me is what he's done
Wait, hold on.
in a losing situation.
Okay, you're right.
which
You're
is
right.
fair.
Okay, you're right. It's not Christian Wood's fault that he signed with the Rockets and then James Harden was traded.
I
He
agree.
thought he was playing with James Harden.
I agree. Nobody's blaming him
To
for
that point, he's been trying to fight his way into the NBA. When he got those minutes in Detroit, he showed enough to now garner a contract that Houston gave him. He's been having to fight an uphill battle to even play in the NBA. Now he's here. It's unfortunate what happened in Houston, but it's not a reflection of the type of player
want us to give him a
that
sob
he
story?
is.
Listen,
Joel, me and you both know very well, being Knicks fans, them stats don't mean shit. Julius Randle had all of those stats and took Christian Wood's MIP and came back, and that shit didn't mean nothing. Had a nasty ass year.
I
So we can
agree.
talk
I
about
agree with
stats
you.
all-
But we knew who Julius Randle was.
What-
And I will say that Julius Randle had a career year. I did not sit up here and overreact to that career year. I did not.
But here's my
But
thing.
it made me not know who he was either.
Hold on,
Because
Pete.
it's
Hold on,
like-
Pete. Because Julius Randle, before that All NBA season, didn't really see much winning basketball. Also, the same as Christian Wood.
Okay.
He went there. He had a career. He flopped the first year. The next
Yeah.
year, he had a career year. Then the next year, he went back to who he was.
Okay.
What's to say Christian Wood, which is
Yeah.
what we're all saying, you're jumping the gun. Yeah, Christian Wood did. And nobody's
Huge
denying
move.
that
It's a
this is a
big-time
good
move.
move. Is
Yep,
this a
it
move
is a
to
great
say,
one.
yeah, Dallas is the best team in the West? Hell
No,
no.
they're